Throughout history, many famous designers have worked on costumes for opera and ballet productions. For example, John Galliano created costumes for Sinbad the Sailor using such extravagant materials as gold thread and crocodile skin. Christian Lacroix adorned his costumes with beads and Swarovski crystals for the opera Princess Turandot at La Scala. Why are theatrical costumes so important? It is commonly believed that clothes make the man. It is true that we form the first impression of people based largely on their style. That's why a theatrical costume is not just a well-chosen piece of clothing. It's a visual philosophy. Many people's hard work is behind every carelessly tied scarf, inlaid shoes, or skillfully tempered cloaks. These specialists do not go on stage, they never get applause, but they create a detailed image that eloquently conveys the audience who the character on stage is. Let us take a look backstage and immerse into the world of costume creation. We begin our acquaintance with a real treasure trove, the Astana Opera Theatre Wardrobe Department.
Hoş geldinizler. Astana Opera Teatrı'nın kostümlerini цехы.
Welcome to Astana Opera Theatre Wardrobe Department. The costumes for today's performance are here, all ready. There are 10,513 costumes in total. Each of our employees puts efforts to improve them.
Қызметкерлер өздерінің жұмыстарын жақсы жітік меңгереді. Себебі кейбір костюмерлер 20-23 жылдан бері істеп келе жатқан костюмерлеріміз бар. Әркім біледі өздерін. Міне көріп тұрғандай.
Some of them have been working here for 20-23 years. As you can see, the costumes for all our productions are stored and taken care of here. We put names and titles of performance pieces on the hangers, like that.
Тазалап осылай қоямыз. Соған арналған осы жер, костюмдерді. Біздің өзіміздің спектакльден кейінгі тазалап жуатын машинкаларымыз бар.
After the performance, the costumes are cleaned. We have our own washing machines, new dryers, all the necessary equipment. We have ironing equipment and the mannequins as well.
Тоже манекендер, костюмдарды өтектейтін манекендер.
In addition to complementing a character and a story, a costume must be practical. An artist needs to be able to move around the stage comfortably while dancing or singing, so a costumer's help may be needed at any moment.
Бізде тек қана жаңағы сахнада костюмдарды осылай апарамыз.
During the performance, costumers are usually on the standby with threads and scissors. Anything could go wrong, no matter how much you check the costumes beforehand. It's inevitable when you move a lot.
Сақтылық қалуы мүмкін, неше жерден тексерсең де ол енді көп қимылдаған кезінде болатын жағдай ғой. Сондықтан біз жедел жәрдем ретінде тұрамыз сахнаның сыртында.
An elastic band breaks or some buttons rip off, and we quickly make any necessary repairs. At such moments, we need to act fast. As soon as an artist comes backstage, we provide help.
Creating a theatrical costume for opera or ballet productions is a complex and time-consuming process that requires a high level of skill and creativity. A costume designer needs to start with the libretto and score to understand the story, the characters, and how they might move on stage. They visualize and sketch out several design options considering the settings such as period, culture, and theme. Let us witness the process of costume creation behind the stage of Astana Opera Theatre.
Над костюмами, над разработкой занимается
A large team works on costume creation. It consists not only of workshops, but also of departments responsible for other areas: the creative, organizational work, and procurement. Prior to the start of our work on the production, different departments discuss everything and approve the plans.
Работаю над спектаклем.
Even a lighting technician influences the final costume design. The lighting makes the costumes look good on stage, but it also highlights or deems certain costume parts to be in line with the concept if necessary.
После обсуждения идей, задумки,
Costume creation consists of different stages. After discussing the idea and general concept of the production, we proceed to the first stage, creative development of the sketches. Together with the creative team, we discuss the subtleties of artists' interaction, characters' motives and personality. We gather research about the setting and look into the musical score.
персонажа, изучение материала, изучение музыки. Все это впоследствии помогает в точности воспроизвести идею постановщика.
All this helps to understand and implement the director's ideas. It helps to express the concept more clearly and vividly through the costume. After all, the costume is considered to be the second skin of an artist. Therefore, we use all the means and techniques that can be applied in the costume creation to help our artists get into character.
Конечно же, помогает вжиться герою, артисту в своего персонажа.
The designer must also consider technical elements such as the materials and methods applied in costume creation. Costumes for opera and ballet productions are usually made of high-quality fabrics such as silk, satin and tulle, which ensures movement fluidity and grace. However, the fabric also must endure the rigors of rehearsals and performances.
Специфика театра именно по производству костюмов, она особенная.
Theater costume creation requires special attention. All the elements must be authentic to the production setting. If it's a period piece, we need to follow the rules of that era. By studying that information, we travel through time.
Путешествуем сквозь время, изучая весь тот пласт материала, начиная от кроя и заканчивая...
It's important to gather proper research, from cut to finishing decorative materials, because each costume detail is significant. It's like a painting, every stroke must be in its place. For us, a costume is a work of art.
К костюму, как к произведению искусства.
The final product of enormous amount of work is magnificent. It creates a cohesive and immersive experience for the audience. The thought-out details help them to believe in reality of the story. The artistry and complexity of creative process is a testament to the crucial role that costumes play in theater production.
Қайырлы күн, қош келдіңіздер біздің ғажап тігін
Welcome to our amazing workshop. We have 22 women working here. For every premiere, we sew costumes for each actor individually.
артистерге жеке-жеке костюмдар тігеміз. Бірінші бізге ең басы суретшіден суреттер келеді, эскиздар. Соған байланысты жоғарғы технологтар соны сараптамадан өткізеді.
Firstly, we receive a sketch from the designer. Then the technicians analyze it, choose fabrics, and get approvals. Our head of wardrobe accepts the sketch and gives it to me. I select the fabrics according to the sketch and hand it over for pattern drafting.
Сөйтіп жеке-жеке қыздарға таратамыз.
Work at the theater sewing workshop provides constant development and requires individual approach. Specialists take measurements and create costumes for artists, chorus members and extras according to individual body characteristics. Mass production is not applicable here. If the costume is complex, a preliminary model is made. It's challenging, but also provides inspiration and experience to the employees.
We've had tons of costumes when we were working with the English. It was quite exciting. We also have the opera Don Carlos. I like this opera. It's very beautiful. Before that, there was a beautiful ballet, Beethoven. The costume of the Japanese woman Chio-Chio-san is splendid, as are the costumes for operas Abai and Birjan Sara. We've worked with the famous Oscar-winning Italian costume designer Franca Squarciappino. We also had Danielle, who was the chief technician. Working with these people was very enlightening. We learned a lot about global trends. During my 10 years of work, I have grown as a professional.
Shoes serve as an important component of the visuals. For ballet productions, it is the shoes that are essential since they enable the dancers to move around the stage and perform pas and pirouettes. Astana Opera Theatre has its own footwear workshop where the shoes are stored and taken care of.
We have 90 people in the choir and around 20 soloists, which means about 150 shoes for just one production. And for Opera Aida, there are even more, about 200 shoes. Here on the shelves, we store all the footwear. Every artist has a surname and a number. Each one has their own shoes.
The immersion into a fantasy world happens not only on the stage of Astana Opera Theatre. The staff claim that their work can draw them into another reality too.
We're adults, but through our productions, we can return to our childhood. I want to show you something.
Вот у нас балет Белоснежка. Белоснежка. У них такие шикарные большие носы с большими ушами. И вот, естественно...
These gorgeous shoes are from the ballet Snow White. They really look like they belong to a dwarf from a fairy tale.
Какая у нас обувь. Вот нам эту обувь шили в Москве Гришко. А вот основную часть, вот она не очень была вздутая, вот эта носовая часть. Здесь мы ее уже сами дополнили.
We had them made by Grishko in Moscow. Initially, the main body was not very large.
Красиво, да?
Our shoemakers modified them.
Точно так же у нас тут Золушка. Золушка тоже как бы нас возвращает в детство. И вот то же самое. Это тоже уже...
These Cinderella shoes also bring us back in time. Our shoemakers made them, and the artists embedded the gems.
Камешки наклеили. Это туфелька Золушки.
Not just opera or ballet artists, but the entire theatre staff work hard every day to take the audience on a cultural journey. They help people escape from the routine of life into the world of ideas and emotions. And teamwork, inspiration, enthusiasm, and professionalism are the components to the success.
Использовав, казалось бы, обычные материалы, можно создать что-то.
Using ordinary materials, you can create something incredible, unfamiliar to the human eye. Something that turns the mundane into the magical. This is perhaps the reason why I work in theater. It gives me an opportunity to travel in time. One day I can live in a certain era, and the next I find myself in Italy. Working in the theater has always been interesting for me.
Для меня это прям очень интересно всегда.